refugee issue at the beginning of this crisis has been seen by the international community as if it is a Syrian crisis. Later, it was seen as a Turkish or neighboring countries crisis. But now, it is clear that refugee issue is a global crisis, a crisis which we cannot ignore, a crisis which we cannot forget. These are human beings like us, and thousands of them, millions of them left their homes for a better future for themselves and for their families. I think nobody has forgotten the picture of Aylan, a 3-year-old boy, and that created an awareness. That picture, as well as refugees marching towards Europe, or taking boat to reach to Europe, now has shown the alarming signals of these problems. And in last several weeks, we had several meetings with European leaders. Many European leaders visited Turkey, ministers of foreign affairs. And here, in all of our meetings, we are sharing this, our concerns regarding refugee issues. And what we are proposing is a three-legged strategy. First is how to prevent new waves of refugees coming to Turkey, coming to Europe, and going to other countries for a better life. The only way to prevent new waves of refugees is to prevent atrocities committed by Syrian regime and to prevent terrorist organizations like Daesh. But also the only way to at least minimize refugees is to keep refugees inside Syria in safe areas. That is very important. We have been telling this for the last 3 years, but unfortunately that voice of Turkey was not heard enough by international community. At least I can say now, there is a general understanding that refugees issues should be solved inside Syria if possible. And we are talking with world leaders about how could this be possible. And I wrote, before coming to New York, I wrote a letter to all leading prime ministers, presidents of the countries concerned. And now we are talking more on this issue. Second is how to manage the existing refugees. Because Turkey has 2 million from Syria, 200,000 from Iraq, many other countries now having hundreds of thousands of refugees. How will we manage this? Until now, the management of these refugees was only on the shoulder of neighboring countries. As Turkey, we spent $7.6 billion until now. And the contribution of international community has been very minimal. And third, we have to prepare ourselves for the future. If one day there is a peace in Syria, how can we make a plan for refugees to go back to Syria? This is the third leg of our strategy, and we are talking all these issues with our colleagues. I hope after this UN General Assembly meetings, there will be more awareness and international community will be more active on this matter. Regarding the future of Assad, Assad is the main responsible person for all these humanitarian tragedies in Syria and around Syria. He used barrel bombs, he used chemical weapons, and these are all war crimes against humanity. So there cannot be any solution with his presence. And he just controls around 14% of the country. A fragile state was created by him. There is a need of a transition by all the parties. And of course, there cannot be any legitimacy for any presence of terrorist group as well as regime committing war crimes. There is a need of a new attempt for Geneva II talks to be revived, and a transitional process is needed without Assad and without terrorist groups in Syria.